What's cracking, money boilers? My name is Bunny Tears, and welcome to my review of the 4 new multiplayer map packs in the Revolution DLC, and of course the Peacekeeper new weapon, also from the DLC. Now the reason I'm bringing out this video is just in case there are people out there who aren't sure whether or not they actually want to buy the DLC or the Season Pass, and they kind of want to know what my opinions or what someone's opinions are on the maps and whether or not they should be bought. So here it is. Now this first map's called Grind. This is the one everyone seemed to be looking forward to the most because it's in the skate park and everyone seemed to flip a shit over that. But yeah, I mean, it's a very good map. It's perfectly symmetrical. This is a hardpoint gameplay that you're seeing at the moment. Every single clip from each of the new maps that you're going to see in this video is actually on a different game mode, just to give you a little bit of a variance. But yeah, this is a very good map. I mean, what they've done with this is there's one main building in the middle, which has 4 entrances into it. One on one of the spawns side, one on the opposite spawn side, and then 2 on the sides, which will go into the pathway that goes around the building. So basically, the way this map works, it's kind of like squarish. It's quite a small map. It's a mix of medium to short range combat. And I like it a lot, I really do. There's also a mix of like ground floor levels and upper floor levels, and like there's a lot of ledges that overlook certain, not only hard points but like domination flags and things like that. And this is a very, very good map. Very small. I think it's pretty good for objective game modes, but I don't think it would be the best for team deathmatch and kill confirmed and things like that, just because, especially kill confirmed, just because by the time you've actually killed someone and then you go off their tags, I have a feeling on this map, and I think it was happening quite a lot when I did play kill confirmed on this map, you wouldn't be able to get the tags back, because there's always going to be someone just around the corner because the map is so small. Also, I'm not too sure. I mean, everyone seems to have been more excited about this than any of the other maps, but in my opinion, this isn't the best map out of the DLC packs. It's very good, but not the best. This, in my opinion, is the best map. This map's called Mirage. The reason I like this map the most is because it's got a mix of not only the mid-range to short-range combats, but also long-range. Now, this area you can see me in now, I mean, the structure of this map is nearly the same. It's basically a square building in the middle, which, rather than having 4 entrances, this time it's only got 3 entrances. One on one of the spawn sides, one on the other spawn side, and one on one of the sides, but not the other side. So basically, this is, well, the place we're in now is between the edge of the map and the side of the central building. And this is the side that doesn't have an entrance to it, so there's no way in or out of the middle building from this side. And I think they've done that because on Domination, the area I'm looking at now, just on the other side of this van that I'm hiding behind, is the A flag on Domination. And behind me, not that far back behind me, but behind me is where the C flag is. Which is actually quite interesting positioning, because if, for example, when you spawn on Domination and you go for your home flag, because the 2 flags, or the 2 home flags, are so close to each other, you're actually able to throw a grenade over a little rooftop and kill everyone on the enemy flag. So it's going to be interesting to see when people realise that. It's going to be interesting to see what people are going to do to counteract that, whether it's going to have to be everyone putting on flak jacket, or I'm not sure how it's going to work, but it's going to be interesting to see. Now, this area we're in now is actually B Domination. Or, like, this is where B Domination is. It's also where one of the targets is for demolition and search and destroy. And the other target is on the other side of the building. Now, this is the central building I was talking to you about. That's one of the spawn entrances, and I just ran it in to get into the building. I just ran in through the side door. Now, yeah, I mean, again, I think this is my personal favourite just because of the fact that there's such a variation of kind of approaches you can take. I mean, there's so much cover, and then there's also areas without cover, which would mean that you've got to run through. It's very, again, it's perfectly symmetrical, and there's so many different approaches you can take when either going to the objective or fighting in a team deathmatch. It's just very impressive. I think they've done very, very well with this DLC map pack, and in my opinion, this Mirage map is better than any of the maps they already had on the game, and I honestly do mean that. And then there's this little diving board, which is actually extremely useful position in the objective game modes, like the dominations or demolitions, because you can actually crouch down on it and head glitch and watch both spawns. Alright, now this is downhill. This is probably my least favourite of the DLCs. It's still an extremely good map, still perfectly symmetrical, very small. However, it's just not my favourite. I think the reason it's not my favourite is because in this actual game that you're watching now, which is Domination, because the map is so small, it seemed like the spawns switched every couple of minutes. Maybe even more, like every minute. Just because, I mean look, I literally just spawned on our home flag, and already you can see on the map there's people on our home flag. It's, I don't know, in my opinion, I think it should be more difficult to switch the spawns in Domination than it is in this game. It just seems like the easiest thing for them to do in this game. Now, this is one of the central buildings. Well, in fact, this is the only central building. There's 3 buildings. No, wait. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 buildings in total. One on one of the spawns, which has a little balcony on the first floor as well. There's this one here, which is the main building, which is where the oh, jeez, what are they called? With their ski lifts. That's where all the ski lifts come in. And this building also has one of the demolition / search and destroy targets in it. And the other demolition search and destroy target is literally out that window I was just looking at. So they're very close together. With this map in particular, again, it's perfectly symmetrical. It's reasonably small. And the way they've done this is there's one main pathway through the middle. That was a terrible spawn, by the way. But yeah, there's one main pathway through the middle, which is the way I'm running now, which goes straight through the middle here, straight past the, you can see the ski lift going overhead, and then it goes all the way up to the enemy flag. There's one to my right, or behind me now at the moment, which goes all the way around, and to the other side of the other spawn as well. And then there's one through the building, the main building that I was just in. Now, I like this, because not only is there 3 ways to get from one side of the map to the other, but there's also ways to get from one of the pathways to the other. So there's not just 3 directions. If you imagine 3 lines in your head from one side of the map to the other, there's also lines going in between them. So if you're walking down one path, you don't have to continue walking down that path all the way. You can actually change it up. Now, in my opinion, that's what they used to do in Call of Duty 4. And I think Call of Duty 4 had the best maps out of all of the Call of Duties. So they've done extremely well on these DLCs. Because even though that was my least favourite map, I still like it a lot better than any of the actual maps that are already in play in Black Ops 2. Now this is Hydro, this is Search and Destroy Hydro, so this can be a bit slower, but you should still get to see like the entire map. This map is a little bit more complicated. I mean, it's by no means big, but I think it's quite a bit, no, maybe not quite a bit, it's larger than any other maps. It's got this underground water thing, and if the alarm goes off, then it floods, and anyone who's in there dies. Which I thought was hilarious, because there's also one of the search and destroy targets is at the end of that kind of little walkway, which means that if you're planting the bomb or trying to defuse the bomb when that alarm goes off, you need to run quick, because you're going to die before you get it defused. Now, the thing I like about this map is there's so... again, it's got kind of 3 pathways from one spawn to the other. Like, if you, again, just imagine 3 lines from one spawn to the other, it's perfectly symmetrical. However, on this map, there seems to be a lot more ways to get from one path to the other. It's a lot more complicated, because on the last map, Downhill, with Downhill, if you drew the map, it would literally be 3 lines with a few lines going in between those 3 lines. If you drew this map, it'd be 3 lines, and then maybe 100 lines going in every different direction in between those lines. So there's some kind of structure to it, but it's a very loose structure. And I think it actually works very well. I think, I mean, in my opinion, this map is the one that gets voted the least so far, and Grind is the one that gets voted the most. So I think this is going to be the least popular map out of the DLCs, but I don't understand why, because I think this works very well, this map. It's actually got 2 levels throughout the entire map, rather than just in parts of the map, which I think is extremely interesting. And it's really, really fun to play. Even in the Search and Destroy, where I didn't do too well, I think I got like 7 kills, 3 deaths in the whole thing. It was extremely, extremely fun to play. Just because, I think it's because you have to actually think before you just run out and start doing things. You actually have to start thinking about stuff, which is what makes a map fun. I mean, it's interesting enough to keep your attention. There's enough options to keep your attention, but there aren't enough options to confuse you. Now, finally, the Peacekeeper. This gun is by no means going to be the best gun in Call of Duty, in my opinion at least. I'll have to break it down and everything like that, because I've got a best gun in Call of Duty video coming out. I'll have to break it down, but it is very fun to use. It's definitely worth a try. I'll break it down more in my next video. But yeah, keep your eyes open. If you enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button, because it helps me out hugely. You can become one of the bunny ballers by hitting that subscribe button and staying up to date with my future videos. You can follow me on Facebook, which is facebook.com/bunnytearsonline, or twitter.com/itsbunnytears. Click on Kirk and Bunny on the left to go to a previous tips and tricks video. Click on Shutley Bunny in the middle to go to a previous comedy video, or click on Borrow Bunny Jr. on the right to go to a previous commentary. Apart from that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful, and Bunny out, bitches!